they presented to us several documents. So,
Teka muna, Senator Riza, hindi
Yes,
ko
Mr.
matiis
Chair.
na hindi ko punahin to, meron tayong naiyak na resource person dito. Habang kasalita si Consul Gen Cato, umiyak siya. Ma'am, ba't kayo umiyak habang kasalita po si Consul General? Natutuwa ba kayo sa sinasabi niya o nainis kayo?
Your Chair, isa po ko sa mga sinabahan niya ng kaso. Biktima rin po ako ng alpha. Former OFW po ako from Taiwan. Nangarap lang naman po ako para sa pamilya ko. Pero bakit?
Okay. Meron ho ba kayong sama ng loob dito kay Consul General?
Wala po. Wala po.
Oh.
Sinabahan niya po kami ng kaso.
Sino po nagsampa ng kaso inyo? Si Consul. Oh, Consul. Teka muna, biktima na nga. Tapos sasampaw pa ng kaso. Damn. What's wrong with you, sir? Pilipino to, Pilipino ka, di ba, sir?
sir, there were false accusations made against me, and they were the ones being quoted. But I've talked to them, and I was told that the statements that were published in the newspapers were not theirs.
Okay.
So they were being quoted as saying that I did not act on the complaints they brought to my attention.
Sabi ka naman.
O yun po, sir. But that's in the newspapers.
ano pong pinahan niyo yung kaso laban sa kanya? Ano pong pinahan sa inyo?
They were included in the cyber libel suit I filed against the Daily Tribune last week, sir.
But were they the ones who cyber libeled you?
No, sir, they were the ones who were quoted as saying that I did not act on their complaints, which was impossible because they were here in the Philippines. So yung gusto lang naman po namin malaman sa kanila is just for them to share with us the truth, and we could amend the complaint naman po.
September pa po kami. Humingi ng tulong sa Daily Tribune. Ganon din po yung Daily Tribune. Hiningan po siya ng side.
With the indulgence of Senator Risa, sis nandito yung Daily Tribune para tuloy-tuloy tayo, hindi na mapatid doon sa hearing nito. Meron bang representative dito yung Daily Tribune? Okay. Ma'am, Maria Bettina
Yes, Your
Hernandez.
Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, and the other Senator. Thereafter, or on September 21, 2023, we then interviewed a number of OFWs in relation to the alleged illegal recruitment activities of a company called Alpha Assistencia SRL, or Alpha for short, for what the OFWs claimed were non-existent jobs in Italy. Since we had interviewed Consul Gen Cato previously, we tried to reach out to him, sir, right after the show, to endorse the complaints to him, but to no avail. Concept and Tribune President Willie Fernandez noticed our predicament and offered to contact Mr. Cato. But it was only after a mutual friend who acted as intermediary that the Consul General responded, "Ginos niyo po kami." In the meantime, since the number of complainants ballooned after the broadcast, the Daily Tribune coordinated with the Department of Justice and Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla immediately scheduled a meeting with the complainants. The following week po yun, sir. The Daily Tribune also got in touch with the Department of Migrant Workers. Andito po siya, COIC Hans Kakdak. Kasi ho, to extend help to the supposed victims. These efforts were made not for anything else, Consul Gen Cato, but due to a sense of public service that is but natural to any media organization. As after all, we exist primarily to serve the needs of the public and as some sort of court of last resort when other remedies have failed.
Pero po, ma'am, may I interrupt. So, meron ka ebidensya na meron siyang close tie sa Alpha? Do you have
Yes, sir.
proof?
Yung pong mga complainants. At saka po yung si Jeffrey Villalon ang nag-disclose ng relationship in relation to the video na una yung pinakita dyan. Siya ho ang nagbigay
So,
sa
yung
amin
video
yan.
showing na kasama po siya doon sa affairs na sponsored ng Alpha.
Sir, yun po mga postings ng mga tao at saka yung mga complainants na lumabas at nagpa-interview na rin.
Okay. Gusto ko na ma-add, Mr. Cato, yung sinasabi niya na fair po yung Tribune. And I attest to that kasi recently, nasulat po ako sa Tribune, and then when I send them a letter, I reach out to them. Sinulat naman yung side ko. So, dapat, nung nag-reach out sila sa inyo, pinakinggan nyo, nakipag-usap kayo, patas naman tong Tribune eh. Diba? Yun yung pagkakamali nyo. Tinablan nyo sila. Eh ngayon, pumunta sila sa ibang agency at tinulungan sila, lumaking issue. Kasi kung from the first moment, ganun kami sa media eh. The first moment na nag-reach out ang media sa inyo para kunin ang inyong side, sumagot kayo, huwag kayo matapot, bagkus matuwa kayo kasi kinukuha ang side nyo. May mga ibang media entities na, hindi ko alam, hindi ko magbabangkit, siguro yung mga hindi kilala. Titirahin ka ng titirahin, hindi kukunin yung side mo. Pasalamat ka, pag kinukuha yung side mo, dapat matuwa ka, magbunyi kayo. Kayong lahat nasa gobyerno, kapag tinawagan kayo ng media para kunin kayo ng reaksyon, kunin yung side ninyo, matuwa kayo. Ibig sabihin, fair yung media entity na yan.
Mr. Chair, isang huling maikli.
Yes, go ahead.
Salamat,
Senator
Mr.
Rizal.
Chair. With all due respect po, kasi kanina po na saksihan nating lahat, umiyak si Ms. Vanessa, lumuha din si Ms. Apple, hindi ko lang kung sa parehong dahilan. Pero if I'm not mistaken, Consul Gen Cato, may sinisimulan kayong banggitin na pwede namang i-modify yung kaso, or if that was the term used. Kasi pambihira pong hinaharap po nilang problema, naghahabol ng hustisya sa ninakaw na pera sa kanila para humarap din sa, hindi po maliit na bagay ang isang dating OFW humarap sa kaso mula sa isang diplomat ng ating gobyerno. So is there, if it's
Senator
not
Risa?
improper, Mr. Chair, is there any
No,
way na
no, before you,
pwedeng aksyonan
before you
ng
answer that,
Consul Gen? Salamat, Mr. Chair.
we don't even have to ask, we don't even have to beg from
I'm just following up, Mr.
Consul.
Chair.
It's
not
okay,
begging.
Senator Risa,
Okay,
I
Mr.
see what
Chair.
you're coming from.
Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Tutulungan kita. Ako magbibigay sa'yo ng lawyer. Labanan natin. I'll fight for you. I'll fight for you.
Yung chairman, may apply po kasi ako pabalik ng Taiwan. Ngayon po, ay naalala ko po yung NBI clearance ko. Hindi po ako makakakuha kung may pending case po ako.
Meron ba na issue warrant?
Wala pa po.
Then dapat di makialam mo ng NBI. Let's go to the NBI. NBI? Nandito ba NBI? Okay. Wala pang na-issue warrant. Bakit matatranis agad yung image at hindi siya mabibigyan ng clearance?
Sir, kasi wala pang resolution yung case po, pwedeng mag-reflect doon sa NBI clearance niya.
Even na hindi pa naiakyat sa judge yung kaso at nasa fiscal level pa lang.
Meron po yun na nagre-reflect po yun doon. Pero pwede naman sigurong kung may resolution or whatever, pwede pong
Mr. Chair,
dismiss na. Opo.
in relation to the point being raised to Ma'am Olga, yun po, baka the ball is still in the court of the good congen. Is it even possible, Mr. Chair, na i-atras nila yung kaso? If it's not improper to ask po,
Yes,
may atras po yung kaso
Madam
laban sa
Chair.
mga OFW.
Hindi kasi para sa akin, magkakaroon pa ng utang na loob yung OFW. Wala naman siyang kasalanan kung tutusin.
Di naman po
As
siguro,
a
Mr.
former
Chair.
OFW rin po, ma'am, it was really so hard for me to include them in the complaint. But as mentioned earlier, the allegations of inaction against me and the consulate were traced to the three of them, Ms. Cabasis, Ms. Antonio, and Mr. Catillo. So nag-usap po kami ni Ms. Apple, and sabi ko, just come up with a sworn statement and tell the truth. Kung hindi mo pala sinabi na nagharap tayo, bakit yun nakalabas sa dyaryo? Na hindi ko raw po inasikaso, busy daw po ako. Pero how could that happen, Mr. Chair, when they are here in the Philippines, I'm there in Milan? So yun po yung basis ng cyber libel case.
So, Congen, Mr. Chair, kung hindi pag-atras, pero saan po papunta yung mga salita nyo kanina na a possible modification? And not, as the Chair
As
correctly
soon as,
points out,
as soon
not
as we-
Congen as a matter of utang na loob, but as a matter of
Sabihin lang po yung
justice and
totoo.
fairness sa mga
Bigyan lang po yung sworn statement that they did not issue the statements attributed to them by the Tribune na negligent po ako. And okay na po yun.
So, ginamit siya na source ng Daily Tribune. And that is the reason kung bakit kayo po, Ma'am Vanessa, ay kinasuhan ni Consul General. Ma'am Apple, totoo bang source kayo?
Tatlo po
ng
kaming
Tribune?
kinasuhan ni Consul Cato.
Pero kasama, source po, kayo po talaga ang pumunta sa Tribune para magreklamo, para sabihin kung ano yung mga nalalaman ninyo, and then sinulat ng Daily Tribune.
Lumapit po kami sa Daily Tribune para magreklamo tungkol kay Alpha. Ang mga natanggap pong reklamo ng Daily Tribune, tungkol kay Consul Cato, hindi po sa amin nanggaling. Naging messenger lang po kaming tatlo. Kaming dalawa. Dahil kami po yung unang nag-live, sa amin po sila nagchat-chat.
So never kayo naging source para doon sa mga allegations against Mr. Cato. Pero against those alpha, kayo yung source.
Kami po yung source ng sa Alpha. Yung kay Consul Cato po, reklamo po lahat yun ng OFW po sa Milan. Ipino-forward lang po namin sa Daily Tribune. Tinatanong din naman po nila kung totoo. Nababasa din naman po namin sa GC na
So
totoo yung
therefore,
mga reklamo.
pino-forward nyo lang. So
Opo.
meron talagang reklamo, Consul General,
Yes,
and
I
these
think,
complaints are valid from their fellow
Siguro po
OFWs na
para-
pinorward nila sa Daily Tribune, and Daily Tribune has to write that kasi valid yung mga complaints.
para po malaman natin yung totoo, Mr. Senator, siguro we could ask Daily Tribune to present those OFWs in Milan who allegedly said we failed to act on their complaints. Because as I've mentioned earlier, the first complaint came on July 31. And they've been making certain allegations that we could not really prove.
But they've been trying to contact you.
Sir,
di ba?
that's what they're saying, sir.
So,
May I ask the Daily Tribune to please tell me what phone number you were calling?
okay, sige. Daily
Mr.
Tribune.
Chair, may I respectfully defer to our writer, Mr. Allen Hernandez, who was able to process the information. Mr. Chair, your honors, please. Thank you.
Mr. Allen?
Okay, so good afternoon, Your Honors. I'm Alan Hernandez. I was the
Mr.
Producer.
Hernandez, Comsec? Can we
sorry.
put him on hold?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth in this investigation?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so I'm Alan Hernandez. I was the producer and co-host of Usapang OFW. So, the story, the first story of Milan came in September 7 when I reached
Mr.
out.
Hernandez, sorry ha, medyo kulang sa oras. What I'm interested in is, totoo ba na kinukontak nyo itong si Consul General para kunin yung kanyang side?
Yes, Your Honor.
And tinatanong niya anong phone number daw?
Yung messenger na,
And you have
I have the printout.
copies and
Yeah, I have the
records to
printout.
show. Okay? Na talagang sa kanya yon. And then siguro, Consul General, you have to check. Siguro huwag natin gawin dito, baka for privacy purposes. Tingnan mo kung talagang sa iyo yun. Tingnan ko sa iyo, inadmit mo sa kanya yon. O, kinukontak ka pala nila.
Sumagot naman po ako, and in some cases, I may not be able to answer, but yung naging story po dyan is, they were not contacting me by phone because they could always contact me via messenger. And they were saying they asked a mutual friend to get in touch with me. That mutual friend never got in touch with me, sir. I was talking to him a few
Go ahead,
days
Senator
ago.
Pasio.
Mr. Chair, Honorable Vice Chair, and members, under my advice, they were not producing these because of the Data Privacy Act. However, Your Honors, if Consul General Cato would waive his the benefits of that law, we will be furnishing this honorable committee with this, Your Honor, because he has to waive. Otherwise, we will be liable unless we are required by this honorable committee to submit it, in which case, in obedience to a legal duty imposed by this committee, we will submit it, Your Honor. So that is our dilemma if, with all due respect, Your Honors.
So therefore, COMSEC issues a subpoena to the documents being referred to by Attorney Pasio.
So I would waive.
Your way, very
Okay,
good.
they're part of the exhibit in the cyber libel suit I filed. Kasama po yung conversation na yan.
Sige. Now, last na lamang, bago natin suspend to. So, Consul General Elmer Cato, itutuloy niyo po bang demanda laban sa kanya? Dahil pag tutuloy niyo, I'll be more than happy na tutulungan siya, ipaglalaban ko siya hanggang sa dulo ng walang hanggan.
Sinabi ko po kay Apple, mag-submit lang ng sworn statement and we will withdraw.
When then she has to consult, meron pa rin siyang lawyer, consult mo sa lawyer niya, and then kukuha mo
Because
ng lawyer
importante po
for
yung
her,
statement
then
nila
consult niya dun sa lawyer.
na hindi nila sinabi yung nakasulat sa Tribune na hindi po kami umaksyon.
Okay?
Umani naman ito ng iba't ibang reaksyon mula sa ating mga netizens. Ayon kay Fortunato Corpus, dapat tinatanggal na ang Consul General para hindi na pamarisan ng iba. Kawawa ang mga OFW dyan. Pahayag naman ni Noel Gatiu, aabangan ko yan mga sir. Kailangan mabigyan ng leksyon yang Consul na yan dahil parang walang awa sa mga OFW. At ito naman ang saloobin mula sa ating kababayan na si Remigio Ruadap, walang konsensya ang mga ito na nasa mataas na posisyon sa gobyerno. Imbis na tulungan mo ang mahihirap, linubog mo pa. Mga kababayan, feel free to comment below para maglabas ng saloobin sa balitang ito.